in Madison, Wisconsin, and I really want to talk about the broader aspects of this. Another school shooting and a young woman being the one that was pulling the trigger. That is what is so shocking. It is not something that you think about for women to harm young people. It is so spiritually backwards. It's stunning to me to think of a 15-year-old girl with her entire life ahead of her doing what she had done. So first and foremost, let me just tell you what happened, because it took place again at a private Christian school in Wisconsin. 6 people were injured, including a teacher who was killed and a teenage student which was killed. Obviously, as in most of these circumstances, you find the suspect is a coward and they immediately take actions to end their own life. That was the case for this young woman whose name is Natalie Rupp now. Again, 15 years old, and she has been confirmed as the shooter. She was also one of the students at the Christian school, the Abundant Life Christian School. And people have been able to dig up some information on her, particularly one ex-reporter. And thankfully for this reporting, is I'm so tired of us having to wait, 20 months after the FBI approves that we're allowed to read the manifesto or have access to it, and by then they've gutted everything that's important. No, we have to understand what is happening. We are obviously facing a mental health crisis in this country. We can just park aside any dumb arguments about needing to pass more gun legislation laws. Obviously, you're not allowed to legally obtain a gun as a 15-year-old anywhere in the United States. And this is a case of her saying that she tricked her father and she got it. And the conversation that we should be having, which we have been having today, is about broken homes. Broken homes, because this is a teenage girl who had an extensive online obsession with school shooters and death. She used a pseudonym Sam online, and she would often reference the Columbine shooters. If we had all of these agents, the FBI, the way they swooped in on January 6th, if only they could pay attention to teenagers who are idolizing and posting pictures of other school shooters right onto their Tumblr pages, maybe some of these things could be avoided. Anyways, I want to read you this Twitter thread from, as she looks to she used to be involved in media, maybe Rebel News, Redux. Point is it's an independent journalist, and she was able to make contact with the alleged boyfriend of the Wisconsin shooter. We've looked into this. The information that @Slatesism has posted all seems to be legitimate and is being confirmed slowly by the mainstream media apparatus. Anyway, she says that the boyfriend, I want to be clear, we're kind of putting boyfriend in air quotation marks here because they were in an online relationship. It wasn't a real life relationship. They met online and considered each other to be boyfriend and girlfriend. He was very forthcoming with everything, obviously, because he was quite shocked by this. So here are some of the facts that are being delivered by this reporter. First and foremost, her boyfriend knew her as Samantha. Again, like I said, that was a name that the shooter was using, but not, the real name is Natalie, but definitely went by Samantha online. She also went by a different name, but the boyfriend said that on her school identification card, she had adopted the name Samantha. As I said, she was a student. She's 15 years old. She was born female, presented as female. This is not a transgendered manifesto, but the manifesto that she did create was entitled War Against Humanity, and the manifesto is 6 pages long. In that manifesto, the shooter speaks about having extreme difficulty in her relationship with her parents, who she referred to as scum. She claimed that her family did not love her or want her, and expressed feeling like she was just the wrong child of her family. She had planned to commit suicide a long time ago, but felt that if she had committed a shooting, it would be better for evolution rather than just one, quote, stupid, boring suicide. She expressed deep admiration for other shooters of the past, and she offered particular praise for, and forgive me for my pronunciation here, Küçük Yiğitim, who was the Turkish neo-Nazi who committed a mass attack earlier this year, and stated that that person was her inspiration. She referred to him as the ultimate saint. So you can see this person was chronically online, chronically reading the manifestos, and in my viewpoint, looking for a way to be seen, because what we were able to do was to confirm that she came from a really rotten background. She had parents that had been divorced multiple times, that were battling addictions. This wasn't something that she was alleging. This is something that was true. Here's a direct quote from her manifesto on her parents. She wrote, "I see my parents as failures for everything they've done to me and just kinda effing with my life. There never was helpful advice given to me. It was all BS. The world itself is BS, to be fair, though, so why should I or you see so much in it? I've never really liked my father, to be exact, because honestly, why should I? Our hate is mutual to each other. He will never see me as his daughter. He will never love me like he loved his ex or her kids or even alcohol. If that doesn't matter, it doesn't matter anymore because nobody heard me out and just made fun of me my entire life, and I'm sick of it." So you get the point here. Obviously, she came from a very rough upbringing, and it is implied that her father's an alcoholic. Later on in the thread, our ex-journalist expressed that her understanding was that Rupno had been bullied at school. It's something that at least the boyfriend had emphasized to her because, like I said, this reporter spoke to the boyfriend for 4 to 5 hours to get as much information as possible. So this is really incredible work. And court records, this is going back into the thread, court records I have seen show she is telling the truth about the repeat divorces in her family and ongoing legal battles between her mother and father. So have removed the sacred from the home in so many ways. And so when I look at this circumstance and this girl who basically took out her internal pain, feeling that she didn't belong, that nobody loved her, that her father hated her, that her mother was in many ways emotionally abusive, I guess you could say, and her resolve was, when we know the world just must be broken. The world must be broken, so it doesn't matter what I do in this world. It would be an act of service for me to harm people on the way out. It would be an act of service for me to kill people so that they don't have to live in this world. That's tremendously sad. Obviously, this girl became a monster and she did something monstrous, and the victims in this, it's just so sad that people lost their lives because of an absence of parenting and a refusal for society to have an actual conversation of how we haven't increased guns in America. Guns have always been in America since our founding, and yet we've never seen a circumstance of kids like we are seeing today that are looking for this sort of attention, that are willing to go through these sorts of lengths to be seen. They've never been more vacuous. They've never been more lost.